Okay, for the past couple days, we've been talking about how to find the vertex. So we already know how to use algebra to find the vertex answer. Today, what we're going to do is go over how to find the x-intercepts. So those specific values. So yesterday, if you were here, we covered a warm-up, like looking at the graph, where does the parabola cross the x-axis? And that would be -2 and 5. As points, those are written as -2, 0 and 5, 0. So today that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at some algebra so that we can find those two answers. Okay, an x-intercept is where the parabola crosses the x-axis, and they have different names. They could be called zeros, roots, solutions, x-intercepts. But if you see on a test and they ask you find the roots, they're talking about the same thing, or zeros, or solutions, or x-intercepts. What we are going to use is the quadratic formula. So this is a quadratic formula. We should already know this part because this is how we found the vertex, -b/2a. We should know that one. Okay, -b/2a. But now we're adding plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So that's the quadratic formula that we are going to use. If you're going to honors, you really should remember it. Or, if you're going to do well on a state test or the ACT, the pre-ACT next year, so it's important to remember this one. You can always go to Google, type quadratic formula into Google, and go to the images to study it, right? So in case you don't know it, that's what I do in case I forget it, right? Open up, just go to the pictures and just pick a picture. It's written all over the place. X equals -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. If you notice, they use it as one fraction, 2a on the bottom. I split it up into 2. Okay, so let's do, so this problem we did do it in class. We did it by hand. So you can see all our work. And then we did problem number 2. So right there. This one, we did it on the calculator, so it has a lot less work. So what we're going to start with always is a, b, and c. A is the number in front of x squared, so that's the number right here, a 1. It's an invisible 1. B is the number in front of x. That's a -8. And c is the number that doesn't have x, so that's a +7. Now we are going to use the formula x equals -b/2a. And actually I should be putting parentheses, -b/2a. So at the top we have b and then we have a. So b was a -8 and a was a 1. And we are going to add the rest of the formula plus or minus the rest of it, which is a fraction with a bunch of stuff at the top, a square root at the top, and a couple things on the bottom. But first, let's simplify this part. What is -8 going to do? That's +8. And on the bottom, 2 times 1 is 2. So what is 8 divided by 2? That would be 4. Okay, we should know how to find this answer and what it tells us. It tells you the vertex. Now you know the x, you plug it back into the original equation and you will get the y for the vertex. So where you see an x, you change it to a 4. Where you see an x, you change it to a 4. So if I come back up here, I would put 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 7. So I'm going to put that in the calculator. Okay, so here's my calculator from college. 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 7. And our answer is -9. So that would be the vertex, 4, -9. So let's come back. 4 and a +9. No, a -9. My bad. -9. Okay, so I'm gonna erase this, but yeah, you take the 4, you take whatever answer you had and you plug it back in, and we got -9. So that means that my vertex is at +4, -9. That is the bottom of the parabola. 4, -9 would be right, whoa, what's going on? Would be right, 4 and -9 right here. That is the bottom of the parabola. Now we need to find, so before what we were doing in the last couple times, we knew that it was opening up because A was positive. So we would just draw a sketch, we would just guess, we just go like that, or some kids would draw it a little bit bigger. They'd go to number 8 and number over here -1. So was this right? Was it supposed to touch +8 and -1? Maybe, maybe not. So now we need to know exactly, is it supposed to be really skinny? Is it supposed to go to the number 2 and the number 6? What number is it supposed to go to? So that's where the other half of the quadratic formula helps you with. Okay, so if you follow the quadratic formula, now it says b squared minus, that's a minus, 4a and c divided by 2a. So we have b, we have a on the bottom, and c. Okay, what number is b? -8. What number is a? 1, and 1 on the bottom, and c is a 7. I'm going to show it to you in pieces. So again, a fraction, -8 times -8. Plug that in your calculator if you need it, but it's 64 minus, okay, if this is a minus, then I'm only going to put in the calculator 4 times 1 times 7. 4 times 1 is 4 times 7 is 28, so we get 28. And on the bottom of the fraction, we have 2 times 1, which is 2. Okay, we should probably simplify the subtracting inside the square root. 64 minus 28 is 36. So we get 36 plus or minus square root 36 over 2. That's what we have so far. Okay, we're almost done. Square root of 36, if you don't know what that is, you can also use the calculator again. So on the calculator, you find it with the blue button, second, and x squared, because it's right there, you can see it. So second, x squared, and then you just put 36. Mine definitely doesn't look like yours, but it is 6. So that turns into a 6. This whole thing turns into a 6 at the top, so we have x equals 4 plus or minus 6 divided by 2. And at the end, what's 6 divided by 2? What does this fraction turn into? 3. So I'm just going to rewrite a 3. Okay, so that fraction turns into a 3. And that is our final 2 answers, right? We need to do one with the plus sign and one with the minus. So we get 4 plus 3, which is 7. That's the correct answer that we should be going to. So now, from the vertex, it's going to go to the number 7. Okay, it comes through here. It doesn't mean that it goes perfectly up. Maybe I shouldn't have drawn it like that. But it just means that it will cross through the number 7. It's going to curve and go through the number 7. And then on the other side, you need to do one with the minus. So 4 minus 3, which is 1. So those are our 2 answers. X equals 1 and x equals 7. So on the left, we go to +1. And that's kind of our vertex, our parabola. Didn't draw it the best, but it gives you an idea exactly how open it should be and what numbers it should pass through on the x-axis. So I'll do one more. A, B, C. A is 1, B is 10, and C equals 21. Now we use the formula x equals -b over 2a plus or minus a fraction with the big square root at the top. Okay, let's do the first part though, b and a. So b is 10 and a is 1. Negative and 10, so let's simplify that fraction. Negative and 10 is negative 10, and 2 times 1 on the bottom is 2. What is negative 10 divided by 2? That's negative 5. X equals negative 5. That means this is where the vertex is, the middle of the parabola. So if you have a parabola, it would be the middle number right here would be at negative 5. We just are missing the y value. So we plug it back into our equation. You take that answer back into your equation, and then you can, do it by hand or plug it in the calculator. So where I see an x, we should be writing a negative 5 squared. 10 and negative 5. So I'll do that on the calculator really quick. Negative 5 squared plus 10, negative 5 plus 21. And it does say negative 4. So that's what the calculator is showing me. Negative 5 times negative 5 is 25, plus 10 times negative 5 is negative 50, plus 21. So that's what the calculator is doing. It's just doing 25 plus or minus 50 plus 21. And it does tell you that the answer is negative 4. So that is where our vertex is. It's at negative 5 with 4. So my vertex, negative 5 and negative 4 would be right here. That one would be the vertex at negative 5, negative 4. That's the vertex. So right now, if you guys look at A, it is a positive number, so that means it opens up. Okay, we know that it opens up. But if you just drew a random picture, you might just go like here and here. So right now, this is crossing at negative 7 and in between negative 3 and negative 4, so that's negative 3.5. Now, is that right? Maybe, maybe not. So we have to get the exact number, and that's what the other part of the quadratic formula helps us find. It is b squared minus, that's a minus, 4a and c divided by 2a. This is a b, we have an a and a c. Okay, one number is b, 10. One number is a, 1, and 1 on the bottom, and c is 21. Okay, so plus or minus square root, and on the bottom. Okay, what is 10 squared? That means 10 times 10. That's 100. Minus, okay, I'm only going to multiply these numbers because I decided to treat it as a minus, not a negative. 4 times 1 is 4 times 21. 4 times 21 is 84. So we have 100 minus 84 inside, and on the bottom, 2 times 1 is 2. So let's simplify the inside, 100 minus 84, and we should get 16. So now we have plus or minus square root of 16 over 2. What's the square root of 16? Well, you can plug it in the calculator, but it's what number times the same number makes 16, and that would be 4. So it turns into a 4. So we have negative 5 in the front still. Plus or minus 4 over 2. What is 4 divided by 2? So this fraction, what is 4 divided by 2? And that is just the number 2. So I'm just going to put a 2. And these are our 2 zeros. You just have to do one time with the plus sign and one time with the minus. So negative 5 plus 2 and negative 5 minus 2. All right, x equals negative 5 plus 2, which would be negative 3, and x equals negative 5 minus 2, which is a negative 7. So make sure you're using your calculator. But those are our two correct answers, negative 3 and x equals negative 7. So from here, I would go to negative 3. So I would be coming this way. It would go up that way and to negative 7. Okay, try to make it cross through those. It should cross through -3 and -7. So again, it curves, right? It curves and it curves. Doing as best you can. But that is kind of what we practiced yesterday, and this is what you guys are doing today. So if you need the help, watch the video, go slow, rewind. If you don't, then just go ahead and do the 4 problems on the new worksheet.